You can catch all the games for the Argentine Triple Crown of Polo, including the Abierto at Palermo, if you subscribe at www.live.aapolo.com. That's live.aapolo.com. They have a great package. You get all the games for a couple of bucks a game. It's really worth it. These games have been fantastic, and watching them live has been really exciting. There's 4 great teams. Any one of those 4 teams still has a great shot at winning it. Let's recap the odds real quick. I've got Natividad at 2-1, Dolfina at 2-1, Ellerstina and La Arenita Grand Champions both at 5-1 at this point. Natividad and La Arenita Grand Champions had a 3-0 record. They were both undefeated, and so they'll face each other on Friday for a spot in the finals. Should be a pretty exciting game. Lion Sonata played really well too. They were 2-2, and although they got beat by both teams, they were close games, and they could have gone either way. I think Sapo Cassette is one heck of a player. I was really impressed by his playing, and I think he definitely should be raised to 10 goals. The guy's really good. It's a pleasure to see somebody that talented play. So let's take a look at Zone B. It's a little more complicated, where we have Cria La Delfina beating Ellerstina by 1 goal. And Dolfina beating Cria La Delfina by 4 goals. So the way that works out is that Ellerstina has to win by 3 over Dolfina to go, because Ellerstina would then have a +2, because they have the -1 from the loss to Cria, and La Delfina is +4 right now because they won by 4. And if they got beat by 3, they'd be +1. So Ellerstina would go if they beat La Delfina by 3 goals, which is possible. Ellerstina has had some tough losses lately. They're an interesting team. They're a really good team. And they're, if they get it together and they get hot, they can be unstoppable. I think it's better that Facundo has moved back and he's playing more of the quarterback position. I think if he plays 3, the more 3 he plays, the more time of possession on the ball he'll have. And the better served the team will be. He's their best player, and so you want him with the ball the most. It's that simple. You want to unleash him, unleash Hilario too. You've got, 2 of the best players in the world right there. Put those two in the middle and let them wreak havoc. And then, the other 2 support him. Nico can't let Peroto get behind him. If Peroto gets behind you, he'll kill you. That kid is good. And you always got to be between he and the goal, or count 1 for Dolfina. I would make them beat you without him. If they beat you without him, congratulate them. But I wouldn't let the kid beat you, because he will. He's fantastic. He and Heda and Barto are just amazing players for their age. It's a pleasure to watch them. I'm enjoying it a lot. Dolfina just has to play their game. They've been I don't know if Pallone is going to play or not. He missed the last 2 games. And they need him. The guy's taking his place. Zacharias is good, but he's not 10 goals. He's not Pallone. There's so much experience between Pallone and Juanma and Adolfo that they can support Peroto very well. There's great teamwork between those guys. Those guys back each other up well. They rotate well. They really know each other, and they have a ton of experience. And that's going to serve them well. Like I said, they're head-to-head right now with Natividad. I only have Natividad giving them the nod because they're last year's champions, and they won the head-to-head game this year, although it was in the last 30 seconds of a game that was tied when Heda scored. So it's really that close. And as I said, remember that Grand Champions beat Natividad to go into the Hurlingham finals against Dolfina. So, they could win too. They could beat Natividad on Friday and go. That game is going to be tough. I think Natividad's a favorite, and I think they'll get their revenge. But I don't think it'll be a blowout by no means. And I think Ellerstina is going to give Dolfina a run this time too. Ellerstina's had a kind of a bad, run of bad luck. If you look at their stats when they played Cria La Delfina, they were like 2 of 9 in terms of shots on goal. That's just terrible. They scored like 9 goals or 8 goals. They need, if you're going to beat Dolphina, they're going to have to put up 20 or 18, that's just not going to cut it. They never really got going, and which surprises me because they're so talented. They just need to relax, I think. And like I said, I pull Facundo back and let him and Hilario get them unleashed and tell Nico to slam the back door, and they're going to stand a better chance. They got beat by I think it was 14-8 last time. It's a pretty good spanking for a team that's 38 goals. I expect a lot more from them in this game. They've got Memo coaching them. He's traditional. He'll give them the right advice. And they're due to get hot. They haven't been hot yet. And they made the finals of the first tournament, the Tortugas. But when they get firing on all cylinders, look out for that team. It's going to be some great polo. That'll be Sunday, by the way. G Squared will take on La Ache. Both haven't won a game, and we need to see which one of them is going to win and put themselves in a lot better position for next year. And in the other match between the two teams that have lost all their games, you have La Arenita Clenova versus La Esquina. They'll have a match on Sunday. It'll be the second match. And again, it's important for them for positioning for next year. Now, Natividad's no shoo-in to beat La Arenita Grand Champions either. Remember, La Arenita Grand Champions beat them by a goal to get into the Hurlingham final. So that's going to be a tough game too. That'll be on Friday. So the current odds have La Dolfina and La Natividad at 2-1 to win the Abierto, and Ellerstina and La Arenita Grand Champions at 5-1. Here's a picture of Adolfo 32 years ago playing for La Espadana in the Abierto. You can watch all the games of the Argentine Triple Crown Polo, including the Abierto Palermo, if you go to www.live.aapolo.com. You've been watching Grandote's Triple Crown of Polo Report, asking you to please subscribe and be safe.